Welcome again to another episode of The Ambassadors on Dove Television. My name is Mike Adekunle, and on The Ambassador, we have determined at all times to ensure that we give you a non-biased communication and analysis as concerning the happenings and events around politics and good governance as concerning Nigeria. And that is why we are here. Today, on this episode, we are going to be looking at so many other things that we need to look at, as we all know that Nigeria has a new president. And it's about a month now. Yeah, it's like a month now, a month that we have a new president. And so many things have been happening since the inauguration of the President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know, he has been doing some certain things and taking some certain steps that we need to examine, we need to analyze, and we need to get you to know what is happening and how we can play our role rightly as believers and as a citizen, because that is first of all, very, very important. Whether you are a Christian or not, you are a citizen of Nigeria and you are duty bound to perform your role, to perform your duty as a citizen. Now, to help us make sense of so many things that has happened from the inauguration to the appointment of some officers at the villa, the SAs and the service chiefs, and looking at projecting to what will be happening after now. I have with me in the studio gentlemen who are savvy as concerning politics, and they've been doing wonderfully well in their area and their space of influence in politics. In no particular order, I have Pastor Femi Cole, who is the convener Redeemites in Politics. Pastor Femi Cole, good to have you with us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Next to him is Engineer Adeshegun Oshibanjo, who is a member of the Directorate of Politics and Governance at Redemption City of God. Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate
it. It's a
sir.
Wonderful pleasure to be here. Thank you
so
for having me here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right.
I have seen your work and some of the things you have said and written as concerning governance in Nigeria. Yes. You wrote an article sometimes back.
Several articles.
Yeah, several articles. But one to mention right now is the one that speaks to the setting of agenda, for the president,
yes.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So in that article, what are the things you feel the president should start doing just as a statement, hitting the ground running? And so far, we have seen him hitting that ground.
Yes.
But we don't know whether he's running. But he has hit the ground. But to what he has done so far,
yes,
are you disappointed going by what you have written?
I'll say this. We have not had this kind of excitement from the government of the country in a very long while.
Okay.
So the way Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu started has been very wonderful. He promised to hit the ground running from day one, and he has kept up.
Now, from day one, as he announced, subsidy is gone.
Yes.
So what do you make of that now with what people are going through?
Sincerely, the subsidy issue is a matter that should have been disposed of with a very long time ago. Successive governments, administrations have, I don't know, they've not had the will to actually take it out. Sincerely, it's a very painful one. The crunch on all of us, even myself, is not funny. But I think I prefer to live with the fact that, yes, we're paying the appropriate price, for PMS, rather than me seeing some other human beings get paid billions of naira on a monthly basis, while the rest of us are there struggling. So it's good to go.
It's a laudable step.
Very laudable that he had the will. It's unfortunate, even the last administration, they manipulated the entire thing to ensure that he stayed. He saw them through till they left. And it was now for him to deal with, and he dealt with it decisively. I remember in the time of President Jonathan, he had actually wanted to yank it off then. And sincerely, I was also part of those that screamed.
But this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was part of those who said he shouldn't.
He was. But that's still where I'm going to.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that President Jonathan did not have the will. He would have insisted. And at the end of the day, we would have thanked him for it. So, and that's exactly what President Tinubu is doing right now.
Okay.
Doing it, and he has said it's gone, sincerely.
All right. Pastor Ko, so far, what I have seen with people had been that people coming to the office without preparing for the responsibility of the office. And you realize that it will take them a very long while, you know, to start putting their house in order, to start really getting prepared for the office. Do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually ready for this position?
All right, thank you so much for that question. And I think the president is over-prepared because he has good hands around him. And he's a keeper of relationship. Okay. He has great guys he has nurtured even before he became the governor of Lagos State. So, and becoming the president has been a dream from, according to what I gathered, since 1998. Okay. He has determined in his heart that he will become the president of this nation. So he has been preparing for that.
So by that, how do you assess the government right now? He has spent about a month right now. So far, has it been so good?
Well, basically we can all see, all right, from the day one that he said subsidy is gone. It takes a very bold president to do that. Okay. Someone did that for about 8 years and could not achieve. So within few hours, he said subsidy is gone. Until today, subsidy is gone. Though the pain is on all of us. Yeah. All right. But he took bold decision. All right. That's number one. And number two, I see him that he's also prepared to bring Nigeria back to the limelight. I see him prepared to bring Nigeria back to the limelight, though it's not going to be that easy on all of us. But I know with time, we'll get used to it. One thing about Nigeria is we do get used to things. Yeah, all right, so we'll get used to it.
Now, talking about his readiness for office, because when you judge by the last administration, you realize that it took the former president a very long time to put together the service chiefs. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had announced the service chiefs, and their names are, the first person is the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the Chief of Defense Staff, the CDS, that is a Major General CG Musa, Major General T.A. Lagbaja, that is Chief of Army Staff. We have a Rear Admiral E.A. Ogala, that is Chief of Naval Staff. We have AVM HB Abubakar, that is Chief of Air Staff. And we have DIG Kayode Egbetokun as the acting IG right now, the acting IGP. Inspector General of Police. And we have a Major General EPA Ndadiye, Chief of Defense Intelligence. Now, looking at this, Engineer Oshibanjo.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so what do you make of this appointment, appointment of the service chief? So what do you make of it?
Briefly, before I delve into that, let me just give Pastor Femi a little bit of backup in terms of the readiness
of the president.
Of the president. Yeah. I'll say this. I won't call myself a real fan of President Tinubu.
So you are not?
Can you hold on, please?
Did you vote him?
Hold on, I'm coming to that. I'm coming. You know, but when we now had, the pack of presidential gladiators that we had then.
Yes.
Now I did a self-evaluation, and it was like, amongst all these pack of men, my evaluation was that the only person that is fully, and the only person that I'm seeing for the first time in the history of this country that is fully prepared for this job, is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And sincerely, that explained why
But-
I voted for him.
But I'm sure others were also prepared, but they were not as equipped as.
So one can be prepared and not equipped.
No. But
He had everything.
He had great team.
So you had it in mind. You knew that he could perform. That's why you voted him.
I know he was going to perform amongst all of them. I see, again, if you look at the hurdles that he had to, scale, they were horrendous, unprecedented as well. Look at what he went through with his party primaries.
Yeah.
Then he scaled that. Then we now moved on to the general elections proper.
We know that most younger generations did not vote
At
him,
all.
Yes.
except for those of your category.
Yes, because they do not have a kind of understanding. That was just the difference.
Were you disappointed?
Yeah, well, for now.
I ask you because I know your generation did not vote him.
Yeah, the truth
My
is
generation
not
as well.
voting. All right,
You know,
now,
because we are younger than you.
Yeah, the truth is we were actually looking for someone who can bring Nigeria out of the pit. All right?
Yes.
We were looking for someone who will be able to bring Nigeria back to our feet. All right? So, and looking at the integrity of the candidates that were presented before us,
Yes.
I was actually neutral.
Okay.
Because apart from the OB, apart from the article, apart from the BAT, I was actually looking at another person entirely from SDP.
Okay.
That guy is also
That's,
sound.
Mr. Adebayo.
Adebayo. So it was also sound, but I was silent about it. All right, so I wasn't looking in the direction of the three of them.
Okay.
All right, though I support the other movement,
Yes.
but I love that Adebayo because I've listened to it. But
Yeah,
I
the
know,
man is really sound.
I know he cannot be president, so I didn't waste my energy.
Okay.
All right, but deep down in my heart, I know President Tinubu had a team of people who will be able to support him. The likes of Dele Alake, they have worked with him in Lagos. All right, the likes of Mr. Wale Edun, they worked with him while he was in Lagos and they delivered. And this man is also a builder who built young people. Okay. I didn't support him during the presidential election. I didn't support him. Okay. But in my heart, I know he will deliver. But due to some reasons, I didn't support him. But now, from the day one, I must tell you.
Are you impressed?
I am impressed. I must tell you. Because before the election, I did not envy. I was not even envious of the person that will become the president of Nigeria. Because even at the last minute, we were still borrowing. Nigeria in great debt. So I did not envy the person who would take over. I only pitied the person. And when this man came and based on his decisions, I fell in love with him. I must tell you.
Okay, let's speak to the appointment of the service chiefs, right?
Yes.
So
now,
what do you make of?
Now
the
I must tell
appointment?
you now. Before he appointed the service chief, he appointed his advisors.
Yes.
And looking at the caliber of people he has appointed, young people, you will see from his team, not elderly people, young guys, all right, that he has appointed people who have been in industry for 20 years or more, okay. All right. They are intelligent, they are doing very well in their career, in their field. And he also included for the first time a police person to become the NSA.
Which has that ever happened?
No. It has been from military to military. Mr. Nuru Ribadu. It has been from military, and I think this.
So what advantage?
Guazo, I think.
No. That should be in military era, not in this in military era.
Okay, not in
under
democracy.
military era. That should be with Abacha.
Okay.
Yes, during military era. But in this civilian, this is the first time. This is the first time.
So what significance do you draw from that? I'd like you to weigh in that we have a police officer as a national security advisor.
NSA superintending over the military. This time around.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a novel one. Sincerely, we have to give that to the president.
Okay.
And I think he is fully subjecting the military to civil authority this time.
Okay.
Honestly, that's the real sense or my key takeaway from that.
Yeah. Like I overheard someone say that, okay, that is good that a police officer be in that office because most of the security issues are internal affairs.
Yes.
And you know, police officers, they are more of internal,
And I was about to say that because now our experience with the police officer or officers or the police force has not been really wonderful. except for this time around that this Mr. Muyiwa, you know, started doing some things, you know, do the public.
The first public relations officer, yes.
Yes, no, so started doing all these things that if you do this, they record it, you know, they give you this public punishment or encouragement. The likes of what happened between Sheung Kuti and one police officer, you know, they've been doing something wonderful. And the new president started building on that, and he brought a police officer to be NSA. So I'm going to see a kind of a reform in the police force, and with the IGP coming in, a professional coming into becoming the IGP, Mr. Egbetukun. All right, so there's going to be a kind of reform in the police force, and with Mr. Nuru Ribadu there, who has understanding of all these operations. So I'm expecting something unique in this administration.
So what do you have to say about this?
Let me back. Hold on. Let me back that up a little bit as well. Again, if you look at it, like you rightly said, policing is an internal thing. The military, they are there for for external aggression.
Yeah, for a territorial defense.
God bless you. Territorial defense of the country.
Yeah.
And most times we make them superintend over internal policing matters. It's not really their beat. It's not really their tough. Now, for me, just like we've said, it's about placing round pegs in round holes this time around. So this time around, because security has been a very, very serious challenge that has become overwhelming for successive administrations now. And I believe with this kind of position fix, we should get it right this time. We should be able to tackle insecurity, really tackle it this time around.
One of the major allegations against the former administration of
Muhammad Buhari, PNB,
has been the issue of nepotism and what's other name right now? I think the word nepotism.
Yes, it covers. It suffices.
Yes. But in this case, now that this president has started, do you justify the spread in the appointment as being, laudable? Has it covered?
I would say President Tinubu is somebody that understands the diversity factor of the Nigerian country very, very well.
Okay.
So he has really brought inclusion to bear on the postings he has done so far. Okay. Now, I won't say north and south this time, but I'll say the geopolitical zones of the country have been very well balanced in all the positionings that he has done so far. Yeah. It's been so wonderful. He covered everywhere. It was funny as at the time he announced the service chiefs, the replacements, the replacements. And it was like, some of us started screaming blue mother, Southeast has been excluded. And it's like, guys, where did you put Rear Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala?
Okay.
The man is from Enugu. So,
you know that name, Ogala? Yeah. When I saw the name, I was even thinking a Yoruba name, Ogala. Yeah. And that's very good. I think that in a way should be able to cushion some effect, because when you look at that appointment, we have 2 officers from northwest, 2 from southwest, one from south-south, 1 from southeast, and I think 2 or 1 from northeast. I think 1 from northeast.
I think we have 1 from middle belt.
No, none from middle belt, but the SSG is from middle belt.
Yeah, the SSG.
George
Akume.
Senator George Akume.
He's from
former Benue State governor.
And when I look at all that, I see, just as you said, a kind of balancing and inclusion.
Very well balanced. Good mix.
Even from his essay, you will see the balancing.
Okay.
We have the Igbo, we have the Yoruba, we have the Hausa.
But do you think in a way this can help us forge ahead, at least for the first time, in a long while?
I see, it's all about giving every geopolitical zone the sense of belonging. Okay. see, if you were to be some other people, I mean, if we have another person emerging as the president, he might look at it that, okay, we all know that the Igbos, the Southeast, did not vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
And he might want to say, okay, I mean, you have to
Since
live
you
by
did
the
not vote
consequences
for
of your actions. So since you guys did not vote for me, I might exclude you. But rather, he chose to spread that sense, carry everybody along, spread that sense of belonging so that we're all together. And I think this inclusion fosters unity, the unity of the country, a great deal, a great, great deal. And I think this would help, really, really help the country.
All right, so
to move forward better.
let's go into the 10th National Assembly.
Okay.
Because, okay, before we go into that, let's look at the inclusion you are talking about.
Yeah.
Religious factor is also another major factor. Now, in all these appointments, are we seeing the inclusion as we would have expected to see it in terms of religion? Because when we talk about Nigeria, we are diverse. So we will come back after this break to look at the blessing of our diversities, religious-wise, tribal-wise, and see what we can make of it, at least for the present administration.
Good.
All right, please, we shall be back. After this short break, please stay tuned. Watch The Ambassadors on Dove Television as we take you through the rudiments and fundamentals of politics and good governance, and how you can be involved. The Ambassadors is showing every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Welcome back. It is still The Ambassadors on Dove Television, and we have been looking at the present administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose administration is just about a month. And so far, my analyst here, as I judged him, or I judged the administration as being, I don't know whether I should use the word perfect.
Not perfect.
There is no perfection.
Not perfect, but then
It's fair.
fair to start
enough.
with. Looking at
Good enough.
some decisions.
Let's say good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Okay, you are the one who said that.
Good enough, yes. Yes, I own up to that.
All right. So do you think this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a unifying factor, is a unifier, when you consider, because part of what put off so many people, especially those in Christendom, in Christian bodies, is the fact that you are a Muslim, your vice a Muslim. How do you want us to trust you with our votes to see what you are going to do, and noise of Islamization of the country and all that?
Okay.
And not long, just as though it were to be a prophecy that was fulfilled, you heard what Malam Nasir El-Rufai said. What do you make of this? Let me start from you, and
Good.
I will come to you.
Good.
Engineer Adeshegun.
Again, thank you. I'll need to do a quick rundown of, my engagement with CAN in relation, in respect of this.
Okay.
Sincerely, like I said, I was not on the side of, the incumbent president initially.
Okay.
But when I looked at the profile, not just that, the track record of all the gladiators, that was when I looked at it that, look, the best bet for all of us, for this country right now, it's unfortunate, it's a Muslim ticket. Now, I was able to rise above, religious considerations. And upon this, I engaged Khan, and that, what are we really doing? We have not, sincerely, Christendom, we have not done much. And we just, if you ask me, we just entered into politics with the advent of the former vice president, Uncle Yemi. That is when I would say Christians entered into politics. And again, who gave us this, this slot? Now we all know it was the slot of President Tinubu that the vice president had.
As it were.
Yes. So it was now, we need to put our house in order. We got ourselves into this position. And that, let's do a proper analysis of all the presidential gladiators and rise above religious considerations. And you will see that the person to go for is our president. Now, I also went further when, immediately after the presidential elections, and there were issues. The war for the soul of Nigeria was now getting shifted to Lagos, and there was all this cry that, we need to take over Lagos and all that. So I kind of sent a letter to the camp president then. It was an open letter, I published it. That I think at this juncture, we need to douse tensions. And there is a lot of cries about Christians. I mean, our cry then was very serious, horrendous. There's been daylight robbery, mandate stolen, that. I said, it will go a long way if can congratulate the president that would douse tension. That didn't happen. I understand. That slipped. That, of course, I allowed that to slide as well. Now, again, when he now emerged, and even after the Lagos elections, and things go back to normal, it was now the issue of the inauguration would not hold. And there were various protests here, there, even some of us going as far as going to protest in front of the defense headquarters and all that. We were at some point even inciting the military to come take over. And some of us were even saying, before the inauguration, he must die, this, that. And it's like, are you guys God? Prophecies upon prophecies that started coming from every nook and cranny. And it's like, this is ridiculing us. And this is not us. This is not Christians. Again, I still encouraged the camp president that if you still do now, congratulate this man openly, it will douse tensions. Again, it did not happen. But to the glory of God, the inauguration happened, and we're where we are today. And sincerely, I will still say this to us. We need to get our acts together. 2027 is us around the corner, before you know it.
Let me pick it from that. 2027 is around the corner.
Okay.
Number one,
I'm sure this now is a major message to, I allowed you to, because I think it's a major message that Christian organizations
should wake up to.
Yes.
Now, I think, let me say that before the election, we have 2027 in view, because it was rather too late for us. You don't prepare for an election when election is just about a month. It's something you will prepare for about 10 years, about 15 years. Like I mentioned that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had been nursing the ambition of becoming the president of Nigeria since 1998. 1998 to 2023. That's about 20-something years, or about 25 years. All right, so somebody nursing their ambition for 25 years, and somebody just waking up because he did not win here and want to become president, it will not fly. So for Christians, okay, let's first speak to religious inclusion.
Okay. We
should look at professionalism. What do we want? We want our nation to work. Who will make it work? Is it an herbalist? Is it a Muslim? Is it a Christian? The nation should work.
So it does not matter.
The nation should work.
But the nation should
Nigeria is not a religious state. We must not just stress ourselves. It's a secular state. It doesn't belong to one religion. But now there is a kind of emotional politics we play as Christians. They are cheating us. Why will it be only them? Oh, they have given appointment. Do we have Christians that we are always emotional? Did we position ourselves where somebody can pick us for that appointment? Have we presented a son or a daughter? 2027 is around the corner, as engineer has said. What are we doing presently? Are we still talking about the last election? It's in court anyway. And I am not a judge. The judge will do their work. But I'm less burdened with that. I am looking forward. We have failed in the time, but then we are failing forward. We have started preparing for 2027. Do you have interest of becoming a councillor, a chairman, House of Assembly? Don't look at presidency. It may not work. Don't look there. councillor.
We should start
councillor,
the stuff
chairman,
from the grassroots.
House of Assembly,
Yes.
House of Rep, Senator. Do you have interest of becoming? Let us come together. Let us train you. There are some things we need to know as Christians. You don't just become emotional about it. You want to play politics. You don't want people to insult you. You are not ready. You don't want people to harass you. You are not ready. You will be the most insulted person among the candidates in the last election was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They said he had a shaking hand.
Now.
I didn't support him. I'm telling you, I didn't support him for a day. I don't even want somebody to tell me about him. All right, he had a shaking hand. He doesn't have stamina. But the man is now for
his strategies.
For about a month now. The first outing out of Nigeria. Now, he went to Paris. You know, to go and talk business, not for medical vacation. Somebody went out there for how many months? About 90 days, for about 6 months, for medical vacation. Eating from our own money, the money that is not there in the first place. So this man going out, now you are aware that Bill Gates came to Nigeria together with Dangote to go and see him talking about business.
They said that one is formality because he was around also.
They have been talking business, from business to business, from business to business.
And I'm just believing that all this their talk will bring something to our table.
Something meaningful.
Sure will.
Something meaningful.
Okay.
The only thing I faulted, while I said I gave him fair, was that the plan he has before the subsidy removal should have followed immediately. He said subsidy is gone.
Or should have been put in place.
Yes. Now, the strategic guys who have worked with him, work out things with him, I say subsidy is gone.
This is available.
A committee has been set up to look into this.
These are the palliatives.
Not that, these are the palliatives. Not that the labor will be chanting, not that the TUC will be chanting.
You're right.
Those things should have been there. So people will have succor in that promise and begin to look out for the promise. Now, imagine the subsidy is gone, the price of everything, and we have not even, spoken to the point that there is 7.5 VAT introduced now.
7.5.
Yes, on PMS.
I think that has been okay.
No, it's just coming. It's just coming. It's just coming.
Not there before.
It's just coming. He said it again. That 7.5 VAT is on the PMS and some other commodities. Wow. And some of these things are now being taxed. Then the tariff for electricity is going high in the month of July. Now, what measure do we have to succor the pain of people?
Now, do
people
you
are in
think
pain already.
this will not still take us down into being impoverished?
No. He said it, sir. He said it before the election. Okay. He said he's going to tax everything. He said, I heard that. I think I still have the clip. He said he's going to tax. Let us tax them. He said it. We will tax this, we will tax that. So it's coming from the business line.
The tax now,
yes.
who will be paying? Everybody will
All
bear
of us will pay the tax.
We all know one thing about the president.
Okay.
He has always been an IGR person.
Yes.
Because that was the survive. That was what he survived with.
In Lagos. Yeah,
when former President Obasanjo came at him.
Yes. They are still doing it.
That was his saving grace.
In Lagos. So I might not have a problem with that because in other countries like UK, America, that's how they run their country.
But I think there shouldn't be an issue with paying tax.
Yes.
If what I'm paying for is available,
it's available.
If resources are available.
Before
we started the program, we were talking about Ogun State and how deplorable, how unmotorable our roads. They've become like a death trap. And I don't know how we could address this or what to say to this. I've been reaching out to some officials under the government in Ogun State to come speak to us, but as if they are not ready. Maybe we should use the opportunity to call them out, that they need to do something. People are going through a lot.
May I say this?
Yeah.
I had the privilege of speaking, I think, was it after the general elections or... Yeah, I think around that time.
Okay.
With the Ogun State Commissioner for Works.
Okay.
And I remember drawing his attention to this part, most particularly this local government, Obafemi Owode.
Yeah.
See, in all fairness, I'll tell you, Obafemi Owode local government is massive.
Massive. Yeah, I think
the
largest
massive
in the state, yes.
Too massive for one local government. It's a local government that should be broken down into maybe about 4 or even more. Too massive.
But shouldn't
do you know
the
it
government
extends
do
as
something
far?
about that?
it extends as far
to have a
close
boundary
to
with
your state.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
bless you. That's exactly where. The day I made this discovery, I screamed that what Obafemi Owode extended up to this point.
And that is
How
from the
come?
beginning of this place here, the Kara going to Lagos.
Yeah,
Yes.
from
Down
Kara,
to,
down to
Yes.
your Groma Aji
So
side.
number one, it is
Yes.
too massive. Then again, there is this thing about successive administrations in Ogun State having abandoned the Lagos-Ibadan axis of Obafemi Owode. And I drew his attention to the fact that, look, there is massive revenue to be generated from here.
Yeah.
And because he was complaining, he told me, look, that how much are they getting from the federal allocations? But sincerely, do we need to wait on that alone when we could do a lot of IGR? I mean, get a lot massive IGR from here. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know. They are not.
It's like our leaders need to wake up, really. They need to
That's
wake
the
up.
truth.
Because I've said it even on this program before. Even our proximity to Lagos, Ogun State to Lagos, is an advantage that
Super
Lagos,
advantage.
that Ogun State should have leveraged upon
Yes.
to make something happen, something good.
They were
at
talking
least.
mega cities and all that
Of course.
in
That will
conjunction.
happen
I mean,
around
collaboration
this
between the
corridor.
two.
I need to say again that Ogun State is a blessed state, but we are not harnessing the potentials in these states.
That's just
The truth.
That is-
now,
that
if
is
you
the
check the Ewekoro side,
Yeah,
going to
even-
Songo
yes.
is like going to Airfire.
That's another.
Is now on Monday, some guys were going to Lagos as early as 6 or thereabout. You need to see this. This wasn't traffic. It was, I don't know what to call it. I should
was
call
a
it
lockdown.
hell. It was a lockdown. The right. You see massive motorbike on the express. Nowhere to go. And those guys were making video clips as look at Lagos, look at
They will
Ogun.
go to work. They will work. You will
Yeah.
collect tax from
Yeah, I'm
them, and
serious.
you will subject them to such
Pain.
suffering.
And that's the
This
problem.
is
and
not
I
fair.
think this is one of the things that the president or the new administration should look into.
It's not
All
fair.
right, should look into. And now he's giving them a kind of monopoly, or he's giving them autonomous, to do a lot of things in their own state, generate
at
their
state
power
level.
at the state level, do this at the state level.
But let's also not forget this fact that they will tell you that most of these roads are federal government
federal.
roads.
Federal roads. And that's what I'm saying, that
And that if they take them, if they take them up, they may not get paid. Payback may not come.
new administration, and the Ogun State will not have any excuse because he has a very good relationship with Mr. President. The governor of Ogun State has a very good relationship
believe
with Mr.
politics
President.
is about negotiations.
Negotiations.
And,
Yes.
Negotiations.
compromise.
Yes,
It's more
I'm
about
serious.
negotiations and
So
compromise.
yeah, so he is very close to Mr. President that we will not get this road fixed. If the Eweko road is being fixed, you know what is going to generate for them. If all these roads are well fixed, you know what's going to generate for
will
the
bring
state.
something to the state,
Yes, it's
at
going to
least,
generate something
at least.
meaningful.
Because
and you
like
not
I
complain
said,
on funds.
I'm not saying people should not pay tax. I pay tax. Everybody
everybody.
does, at least.
They do.
But then, when we pay tax, let us see the dividends,
The dividends.
of what we are
Yes.
paying for. I think that's just it.
It's
for me.
key.
So let's progress. Let's move into the 10th National Assembly.
Okay.
Jokingly, we were saying earlier that the 9th National Assembly, thank God, there was no throwing of shares.
Sorry. Did we actually address the part of, the postings as regards to Christian?
The Christian, yes.
Did
we
we-
touched on it. Please speak to it.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
I think Mr. President has done very well so far.
Very well, to the point that Christians can be addressed to say, okay, we are well represented.
We are well included. There is that inclusion for Christians. From my perspective, so far, from all I've seen, good inclusion so far. But I won't know. Sorry. Before you take it up, what I don't know
Yes.
is has there been any level of contact we can? In respect of this.
For me, I think PFN should be, let them continue the church.
Yeah.
See, for me, I don't see any harm in the president sitting
so
with
that
them.
it won't look like you trying to lobby them into politics or trying
No,
to.
this is for me. This
Sir,
is
let me
inviting them
let
over.
me say this.
Let's talk.
Let me say this. Why we are
Okay.
saying CAN should see them, PFN should see them, we should be conscious of positioning our own people.
God bless you.
We should be conscious about that. Now, if we have,
Very
now if
conscious.
we say chief of defense staff is a Christian, this chief of this is a defense, Marshal is a defense, I mean, he's a Christian. All right. It means that we have a lot of us going into that. A lot of us are not into politics. We do not belong to any party. We are just shouting on the social media.
I think what we don't know as Christians, where we needed to put our people is not where we are pushing them to.
We are not pushing them there.
Now, are there no Christians at the National Assembly?
That's what I'm saying.
And this is where policies are being made. This is where policies are coming up.
I'll tell you where the problem is. I'll tell you where the problem is.
Okay.
We are not playing grassroots politics.
As Christians.
Because for us to get to this level, we need to have Christians
from the grassroots
being card-carrying members of the political parties.
I said that.
You're correct. I'm buttressing what you're saying. We need to have our people attending ward parties, party meetings.
Yes.
Okay? And that is where we can now begin to graduate, okay? Get ourselves elected as councillors. From there, State of Assembly. Then we'll now be looking at the national legislature. It is when we have our real members there. Because, see, yes, we have Christians in the 10th National Assembly, quite all right. But, I mean, they went there to represent their parties.
Party, not Christians.
So we need our own representatives to be there. And the starting point will be when CAN starts, what I call meaningful engagement.
Then I said something the other time, sir. Sorry to cut in. Now, I said something the other time that we are too emotional. When we hear something on social media, we want to react to it. We hear something, we begin to play social media politics. That's not politics. There are a lot of things to know in politics, all right? And it starts from the grassroots. Now, number one, showing interest. Now, show interest to become a politician. When you engage a Christian, say, I'm not a politician, and you are arguing on social media, you can argue from morning till evening, and you say you are not a politician, and you are talking politics. And you are saying you are not a politician. Now, you need to be educated, number one. Number two is you need to be associated with politicians, real politicians. Number three, you need to be a member of a political party where decisions are being taken. Then there are some things you need to also know when you belong to a political party that will make you a stakeholder in that party. Peradventure, there is going to be convention or congress or any elective position. They will find you worthy. Now, when you become the chairman of your ward or the chairman of your polling unit or chairman of or coordinator of this and that, you are growing gradually. So when there is a need for somebody to be considered at the ward, you'll be considered. When there's something to be someone to be considered at your local government, that's how to rise.
You have to position yourself.
Position yourself. It's as simple as that. Not just being emotional.
There is a bill in the House right now that has passed second reading.
Okay.
Sponsored by Senator Binos Yaro from Adamawa South Senatorial District. Okay. The bill seeks to regulate the activities of Christians. I don't know if I can take a bill seeking to create a national center for Christian education to regulate and set standard for the practice of Christianity in Nigeria has passed the second reading at the Senate. And the sponsor of the bill claimed that there are inappropriate practices of religion, which, according to him, had in the past led to issues. Have you heard about this bill? Now, this bill, I think it has passed second reading, and if a bill has passed second reading, there will be need for a public hearing.
Yeah.
I think after the public hearing, they can now, pass it to an act and all that. Now, has any Christian heard about this bill at all? And what this bill is seeking to address, is it appropriate? Do you have any idea about this?
Sincerely, I have heard about the bill.
Okay.
But what worries me is what are our fathers in the faith doing in respect of this?
Yeah.
Sincerely, I I think they should be at the forefront, speaking. But again, it goes to that part where we say that we don't have good representation
That's it.
in the National Assembly.
Assembly.
I won't just say Senate.
Because I would have expected, sorry to cut in, I would have expected that the bill addresses religiosity, religious practices.
Yes.
Not
Not
only
just
It is
Christian.
Christian.
education.
That's the worrisome part.
Because this person is trying to bring in some sanity into the Christian education, what they teach. Because at the end, I think this bill will now start to provide for the curriculum. What your children, my children, will be taught in CRS,
Yes.
in schools.
That's what it means.
What the seminaries, what the Bible colleges will be teaching. Somebody from Abuja will be determined or will be dictating this to us.
And that person might not be a Christian.
And that person might not be a Christian.
That's-
Anybody can
that's
sit
most-
on the board
that's
of
most
this
likely-
particular stuff.
He
most
has said
likely going
something,
to
sir. We
Now,
should
what
not shy-
happened to other religions?
We should not shy away from what he
What
has
happened to the traditional religions and others who are killing people to make rituals, to make money, to make things in the name of religion?
said. Our fathers should rise. Our fathers in the faith should rise. You know, we are not violent people.
Do you know what worries me? Like, I say it worries me. Now, when we brought religion into the last general elections, they were, how do I put it? They were so loud in talking. A lot of them, a lot of our fathers were so
so
loud.
To the
Loud.
point of altars became platforms for campaigns and all that. But where we need to speak to, we were not speaking to it.
That's it.
We were not speaking to it. I had Pastor Dr. Ekundayo, precisely, Dr. Dayo. No, Ekundayo. Dr. Ekundayo was here. And he was lamenting on the fact that church, we missed it. In the point that we were not having a place for a discussion. We just went, oh, you are picked Muslim ticket, okay, fine. You are gone. You are this, you are that, and all that. We did not come to a point of, negotiation.
That's it.
Point of compromise to say, okay,
That's it.
you are going this way. If you want us to support you, this is what we want from you.
Thank you, sir. Now, the Muslim folks did something.
Okay.
They said they are going to support Tinubu, and this is what they want. They negotiate.
presented
they
a
presented
communique.
yes with him. All right. Now, let's go back to the bill.
Okay.
Then we talk about the 10th Assembly.
Okay.
All right. Now, who is the current Senate president now? A Christian. All right. Now, who chose him? I'm going to say, who chose him? It's a president.
Who propped him up?
Who chose him? Because he was actually selected and elected. Okay, he was both selected and elected. Okay, so now.
No, but that's the truth.
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
and
But I
elected.
just wanted to know that the national assemblies, they have their own politicking.
Yes.
And the head.
So,
And they did.
And that's
Yes.
more of a party thing.
That's party. Now, if the executive will have a hand in who becomes the president of Senate, then what are they going to do in the Senate? What are they going to do? Are they going to work against the person who chose them? Is it possible?
So by
The last administration, sir.
by implication,
before you say,
you are saying that they are becoming a rubber stamp, or they are going to be a rubber stamp.
I don't know. It's a new administration.
Because they were
the last
selected
administration
before elected.
Yes, it's election and election. So the last administration rubber stamped everything, even to the last point, the last minute. When we say we are choking, we are dying, our children are dying, they still have to stamp.
But the former
voting.
Senate President, Senator
Lawal.
I mean,
he
Lawal.
came up, he came
That
up to
what?
say that
That what?
They were
they
not
did all they did at the Ninth Assembly
Uh,
in the good of the national interest.
Oh, it
They
was
did all
indeed,
faith.
indeed. All the borrowing
In our good
interest.
faith, when some few days to the expiration of the administration,
Yes.
they brought to you another request
The request for loan.
For loan.
for humongous loan.
Loan.
Not just a loan, humongous loan
It was done
What
for the
would they-
benefit of the country.
for their own benefit. I mean, Ahmed Lawal should have said.
So I need to say, sir, we're going back to that. Let us begin to prepare our own children, our own people. Let us begin to support our people who have interest in politics.
Now, I think we should call out Christian bodies,
That's it.
our Christian leaders.
Before-
On this bill right now, I think a particular meeting or a forum I don't know when now, but a kind of there's going to be a public hearing concerning this bill.
Yes.
I think our people should go all out to ensure that this bill is well scrutinized. I'm not totally against the bill. If the bill is to the good and the sanity of making us progress as a nation, without religious war and battles here and there, we have suffered, people have died over time, and I'm seeking that this bill should cut across board to all religions. Nigeria is a multi-religious,
a secular
state.
state. Just call it a secular state.
It's a secular state.
By that, the bill should be stepped down.
Yes. If you ask me, this bill, because it seeks to regulate Christian practice. I won't call Christianity religion, but I will say Christian practice. By that alone, this bill must be stepped down. And I am also saying this. You guys, you came up with the word negotiation. In my first letter, I was just silent, deliberately silent. But since you brought it up, in my first letter to Khan, to the president of Khan, it was there clearly that Khan should sit and negotiate with President Tinubu. But that was not done. The Muslims were smarter. They sat the man down and they negotiated. So would Khan still fold their arms and just watch things, even whether we disagree with the man or not, whether we like it or not, he is our president right now.
Definitely. Until court says otherwise, he's still...
Like Pastor Femi said, we need to position our own people as well. We need to have our voice. If we really had done the right thing, this bill in the National Assembly would naturally have been stepped down. But because we do not have, Christians protecting their faith, but rather protecting their parties, you won't see them coming against this bill. So I'm again calling on all our fathers in the faith, all of them.
Yeah.
And most particularly, the very vocal ones during the 2023 elections, to come out publicly and attack this bill. That this bill, I don't really mean attack, but that this bill must be, they demand that this bill be stepped down.
Step down.
For the good of all. And if there will be anything to regulate, all the religions, then whatever bill will come must
cut across.
Including the traditional religions as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to take that as your final statement on the program. Now, thank you so much, Engineer Adeshegun Oshibanjo.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you for your time, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right, Pastor Cole, a parting shot from you.
Parting shot is that let us be encouraged to start now. Because the best time to start is now. Start preparing for 2027. Stop using your energies negatively. If you have interest in politics, let's come together, form an alliance. By alliance, I do not mean political party. Let's form an alliance and let us see how we can position ourselves rightly and be part of these decision makers. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Amen.
I must thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. We appreciate you. Pastor Femi Ko, the National Coordinator and Convener of Redeemite in Politics. We appreciate you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Engineer Adeshegun Oshibanjo. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, viewers, we appreciate you for watching. God bless you. My name is Mike Adekunle. See you next time. God bless Nigeria.